a new pattern on the larger time frames that we need to pay attention to while the price is playing out this short-term signal again, while more liquidations are happening right now, while Ethereum is still playing out this short-term warning signal. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, starting off on the 3-day Bitcoin chart, and over the last 1 day, nothing has really changed on the 3-day time frame, so I'll keep this very quick. And the same thing goes for this chart and this chart right here. And so basically, like I've been saying over and over again here on the channel, the 3-day time frame is technically still within a bullish trend here for the price of Bitcoin, forming higher lows and higher highs, at least for now. And as of right now, we're still currently looking more bullish than bearish in terms of the trend or the larger move here on the daily time frame, but we're seeing very early warning signals if we see, for example, a further bounce to the upside in the DXY like what we saw over around 1 week. But once again, over the last 1 day, not much has really changed on all of these 3 charts right here. So if you're new to the channel and you want to know more about these specific charts here, then make sure to watch my last video here on the channel to find out more. But with that being said, zooming back out to the 3-day Bitcoin chart, and right now the price of Bitcoin is potentially forming a massive inverse head and shoulders pattern, which is a bullish pattern if we can complete the formation phase by forming this right shoulder and then eventually confirming a breakout above the neckline. And so obviously, at least as of right now, that has not yet happened, which means this pattern is not confirmed or in play, but it is potentially forming. And so what we actually need to see for this massive bullish pattern to form and start playing out is we actually need to see a little bit more of a short-term pullback in the price. So actually some more short-term bearish price action in order to form this much larger bullish pattern. And then what we would need to see after potentially a bit more of a short-term pullback is a recovery back to the upside, with a move back to the upside in the following weeks, even over around 1 month or so, considering each one of these candles is basically 3 entire days. And so even if we see a continued pullback in the short term for the price of Bitcoin over the next few days or over the next 1 week, we could still potentially be forming this massive bullish pattern for as long as we see an eventual recovery in the price of Bitcoin within a few weeks from now. And if we end up forming that right shoulder to complete the formation phase for this inverse head and shoulders pattern, we would then need to see a confirmed breakout above this neckline, which if we're basing the neckline off these 3-day candle closes, that's sitting at approximately 71.7K. And if we see all of that play out in the following 1 month from now, basically if we see a bit more of a short-term pullback and then a recovery and then a confirmed breakout with a 3-day candle close at least above 71.7K, then that will actually confirm the breakout for this pattern and activate the pattern and the price target for the pattern, which, by the way, the bullish price target, if we see the pattern confirm, would be sitting at around 86.7K. And so from the point of the breakout to that price target, we're talking about around a $15,000 move in the price of Bitcoin, or around a 21% gain. And so once again, this is potentially a massive pattern that is forming right now on the larger time frames, but I want to make it clear that as of right now, this potential pattern that's forming is not yet confirmed. We still need to form the right shoulder and then actually confirm a breakout above the neckline, which as of right now has not happened. And so at least for now, this is something to pay attention to, but not something to act on because it is not yet confirmed. And if we're taking a look at this daily Bitcoin chart right here, over the last 1 day, we've seen another short-term pullback exactly into this area of support. And so far, we're still finding some support at around 67 to 68,000, which is what I've been talking about basically every day over the last 1 week. And as I've also been saying basically every day over the last 1 week since right back here, I've been saying we're most likely going to see some choppy sideways price action in the short term, made up of short-term pumps and dumps basically every few days. And since I've been saying that around a week ago, obviously we've been seeing exactly that price action play out. And I continue to expect this type of price action just in the short term, as in potentially in the next few days. And obviously for the Bitcoin holders out there, this is very boring price action with the price basically going sideways. But for the traders out there, this is a gold mine. You can make a lot of easy profits in crypto in choppy sideways price action just like this. And if you want to know how to do that, then stick around to the end of this video to find out more. But ultimately at the moment, and as I've been saying recently here on the channel once again, the price is still in this choppy sideways price range in between this area of support and this area of resistance, which by the way, this resistance is still sitting at around 72 to 74,000. And if we actually see a confirmed break with daily candle closes below 67,000, then in that case, we could likely see a move down towards this next area of support sitting in between around 63 to 64,000. But obviously, at least for now, we have not yet confirmed a break to the downside. And if we're zooming further into the short term, looking at the 1 hour Bitcoin chart, obviously since my last video, we saw that short term dump exactly as expected. Because like I said in my last video, the 1 hour Bitcoin RSI just recently entered into overbought territories. And the last time we saw that happen, we saw a short-term dump, a pullback over the next 1 day or so. And we saw the same signal repeat again, which is exactly what I talked about in my last video before this move happened. But what we are now seeing in the 1 hour Bitcoin RSI is obviously the RSI just recently got very close to oversold territories. We did not actually enter into oversold territories, which means we technically still have a little bit more room to the downside in the short term. But with that being said, the last time this happened in the RSI, just like this previous high in the RSI, we also saw a low right around this low that we're seeing right now in the RSI. We previously did not enter all the way into oversold territories after that short-term dump. And so basically what came next for the price action was a bit of a bounce to the upside in the short term and ultimately a lot more choppy sideways price action just in the short term over the next couple of days or so. And so simply based on these signals repeating again in the price and the RSI for the price of Bitcoin on the 1 hour time frame, I would not be surprised if we see a little bit more of a bounce in the short term for the price of Bitcoin, followed by some more choppy sideways price action, basically short-term pumps and short-term dumps. And once again, if you're simply just holding Bitcoin, the price is pretty much doing nothing. So just holding Bitcoin at the moment has been very boring over the last few days. But for the traders out there, once again, you can still potentially make a lot of easy money on any volatility, whether it's going to the upside or to the downside. You can make money in either direction. But when it comes to my trading strategy right now, I'm not taking much of a short-term trading strategy. I'm more looking at a longer-term trading strategy, also known as a swing trade. And this is basically the exact same trading strategy that I've been sharing every day here on the channel over the last few weeks since the price was actually below $60,000, which I said right there, that is the point where we want to enter a long position. And so since then, I've maintained this long position and I have taken a little bit of profits off the table at some slightly higher prices, and my stop loss is sitting in profits as well, which means in the worst case scenario, if the price just dumps right now all the way to the downside, then once again, in that worst case scenario, I've already taken some profits off the table and the rest of the trade would close in profits at that stop loss right there if we see a dump to the downside. And so if you've been watching my videos over the last few weeks, you should also be making a lot of easy money right now in the crypto markets. And if you're not, then make sure you subscribe to this channel with notifications turned on so that you don't miss out on any of these important update videos where I share these trading strategies very transparently, basically every day, that are clearly working and making money. And if you also want to take trades just like this, then personally, I'm taking this trade right here over on Bybit. So I'll make sure to leave a link to Bybit down below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And in fact, if you use that link down below this video to make a Bybit account and deposit on that account, then you can get up to a $30,000 deposit bonus, but only if you use that link down below this video. And also, if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here, which is currently a 1.5 million USDT trading competition happening right now on Bybit. And so if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you could potentially win a share in 1.5 million USDT just by trading in this competition using that first link down below this video. But if a trading competition isn't really your thing, there's also a massive lucky draw happening right now over on Bybit, just simply by trading using that link, which, by the way, the second link down below this video will take you to this lucky draw where you could potentially win up to $100,000. And once again, the first link below this video will take you to the $1.5 million trading competition. And so if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well check this out. Once again, first two links down below this video if you want to claim these extra prizes just by trading crypto. But for whatever reason, if you cannot access Bybit or if you cannot KYC on Bybit, there is also Bitflex, which is another crypto exchange similar to Bybit, but you don't need KYC for Bitflex. And so I will also make sure to leave a link to Bitflex down below this video as an alternative crypto exchange. And if we're taking a quick look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, we can see just recently we have liquidated some more positions to the downside, basically late long positions, over leveraged long positions that entered very late into the market here. And I explained that in more detail in my recent videos here on the channel. So around 2 to 3 videos ago, I talked about over leveraged long positions entering late into the market, causing more liquidations in the short term. And so once again, we just wiped out that downside liquidity, which is what I talked about recently here on the channel, which was sitting at around 67.1K. And we still have a little bit more liquidity to the downside at around 66.7K. And so I would not be surprised if we see the price of Bitcoin return to those lower prices to wipe out those positions before potentially seeing another bounce back up again to potentially wipe out more liquidity at around 69 to 70,000. And so essentially the liquidation heat map is just revealing that we're most likely going to see some more choppy sideways price action, which is exactly what I've been saying over the last 1 week or so and has exactly been playing out as expected. And if we're taking a look at Ethereum on the daily time frame, technically speaking, the bullish breakout for the bullish falling wedge is still active with a price target at around 4070, so just below 4.1k. And that price target and this breakout would only invalidate if we see a confirmed break back below around 3.2k. And so technically speaking, on the daily time frame, we're still currently looking more bullish than bearish overall, despite short-term pullbacks. But if we're taking a look at this 8-hour time frame, over the last couple of days, we did see a break below this important Fibonacci level, which was a bit of a short-term bearish signal. And the next important area of support is sitting in between around 3.6k to 3650. But obviously just recently, we have bounced a little bit before that important area of support. And so at the time of recording this video, the price is now retesting that previous Fibonacci level of resistance, which is sitting at around 3820. And basically, if we see a confirmed breakout with candle closes back above 3820, if we can reclaim that level right there, then in that case, we could likely see a move back up towards this local high at around 3960 and potentially up towards this previous high, acting as strong resistance and also the bullish price target for this pattern right here, once again, just underneath 4.1k. And so over the last 1 day, these levels have not really changed on this chart right here. And if we're taking a look at the 4-hour time frame, technically speaking, this short-term bearish divergence is still currently active, but it is possibly approaching an end. So first of all, I've been saying since this exact high right here a few days ago, I've been saying we're most likely going to see either a short-term pullback or choppy sideways price action because this bearish divergence is actively playing out in the short term. And since then, obviously, we've seen exactly that play out as expected. But what we are now starting to see in the RSI on the 4-hour time frame is higher lows and higher highs begin to form just in the immediate short term, followed by some slightly higher lows in the price action. And so if we see this continue in more of a bullish trend, especially here in the RSI, and especially if the RSI can break out above this descending line of resistance right here, then in that case, that would help to invalidate this previous bearish divergence. And so once again, what is happening right now just in the imminent short term is the RSI and the price moving towards the invalidation of this bearish divergence. We're getting close to a potential end for this bearish divergence, but it is not yet confirmed just yet, which means technically speaking, the bearish divergence is still currently active. It's just moving closer towards the end. And if we're taking a quick look at the price of Solana on the 8-hour time frame, like I've been saying basically every day over the last half a week to 1 week, we're still chopping around sideways exactly as expected in between this exact level of support at around 160 and this area of resistance sitting in between 167 to 172. And so once again, like I've been saying, we're still looking very neutral just in the short term. But if we see a confirmed breakout back above 172, then in that case, we could likely see a move back up towards this resistance in between around 182 to 186. But on the other hand, if we see a confirmed break below 160, then in that case, we could likely see a move down towards around 140 to 144. And so those are potential signals and price targets to watch out for in the short term, which we can trade in either direction. For example, if we break resistance, we could potentially trade that with a long position, or if we break support with confirmation, we could potentially trade that with a short position, so we can make money in either direction. But until then, we're still chopping around sideways just in the immediate short term here, which we can still make a lot of money from. And if you want to know how to make easy profit in crypto if the price is chopping around sideways, then make sure to watch this video in the bottom left of your screen right there, because the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action, and the video in the top left shows you how you can make money if the price is bullish or bearish using long positions or short positions. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.